Ready?
It is not. Oh shit! I forgot a thing.
Yeah, make sure you're recording.
There we go. I forgot to pop out the Discord. All right, go for it, Joel.
Hello and welcome back. We have Ben, who will be playing Ticto Talk Keeper. We have David, who will be playing Foldor McNargle. And Brian Ballard playing Edward Everflame Niven. A recap of what happened in our last adventure. Following an attempted murder where the target was saved by a quick bit of healing from Edward, our trio discovers the assailants floating out of an open door of the luggage car of the lightning rail. After a quick casting of Featherfall by Ticto, our trio, along with Bergnatius the Battle Turkey, leap off the magic railway in pursuit. Safely landing on the King's Forest and a surprising display of stealth and speed, our trio quickly closes the distance between them and the assailants. Ticto launches a trio of magic mistos, shattering his assailant's ankles and exploding his chest, killing him instantly. Edward tries to cure him, but due to his heart being completely obliterated, it is impossible. A quick search of the body finds an old parchment in an unreadable language, and the body bears the dragon mark of the House Valarin. Stranded approximately 150 miles from Rote and 200 miles from Sharn, their original destination, our trio was lucky enough to find the King's Road and set up camp. During Fodor's watch, he attracted a pair of direwolves due to his need to have a late-night snack, of which he killed one and Edward tricked the other into leaving. During Edward's watch, he met a trio of druid led by Nick. The others were Froderick and Sue, wild-shaped as badgers, investigating a body they found in the woods that had his feet blown off and a gaping hole in his chest. Edward suggested that it might be wild animals, but the trio were less than convinced. Deciding to leave matters be, the druids continued their investigation, and the night passed without further incident. As the night closed, Edward sees something fall from the sky into the King's Forest. And now continues our quest. It is my pleasure to welcome you to join us along our quest to become Nerds of Legend.
Nice.
The story opens up. It is now daytime. You guys have completed a long rest. What is on your agenda for today? You catch yourself, it's a clear day. You see not a cloud in the sky, but road stretching as far as you could see to the east and to the west.
Well, I think we might want to just, continue following that train. I mean, I don't think there's really any other option that we have right now.
Oh, all right. If you say so.
Did you have a better idea?
No. I just
No? Okay. Well,
I would like...
I'm looking around warily. I agree.
I would like Ticto to give me a survival check to see if you remember where the rails were. You are about 20 miles from them.
I thought we were following along them.
You follow along them, but remember, you're along a road, and the lightning rail goes up and around. You have moved far past the lightning rail. It is off in the distance.
Okay. I got a 16 on the die. Survival check of 18.
All right. You remember that by being able to remember the placement at a time that you got on, since time is your thing, you were able to remember that you got on. The sun should be right about here, and the train was right about here when you got on the train, and so it should be going. You're pretty confident it's that way. So you get on it, and you very confidently decide this is west, direction you're going. And you pack up camp and set up a jaunty pace as you're walking down what seems to be an endless expanse of road. All right. Does anybody have anything you're doing before you just set off on road traveling?
nothing I need to do.
Edward doesn't have anything to really do. He's just kind of nervously fiddling with this strange colored rock in his hands, just kind of like passing it back and forth.
Okay.
Gonna hop up on Birdnacious and just kind of get him with my heels slightly and move him along.
All right.
Do I notice the rock that Arnold is playing with?
Who?
Arnold?
What was the fuck his name?
Edward.
Edward is playing with. My bad.
Yeah. Are you playing with
Edward
it out in the open, or are you just like?
It wouldn't be like something I'm hiding, but I would imagine that it's probably out in the open, but not like here. Look at my rock.
Yeah. Okay.
Then roll a perception check.
Nat 20.
Oh yeah, you super see it. Like it's all you can focus on. You're
So,
walking around and like all you think is like, why are you? Where do you get this rock? I want to look at this rock. This is the coolest rock I've ever seen. Wow, that's
So,
like you can't stop looking at this rock.
So, Edward, what you got there?
It's something I found last night, actually.
Oh, really? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know, really. I heard a noise, and I could have sworn I saw something fall from the sky, and when I went to go check it out, I just kind of found this rock. It's an unusual color, don't you think?
Can I give, like, are you showing it to me, Arnold?
Well, I don't know if Arnold
Sorry,
would show it to you. I would show it to you.
Is Edward showing it to me? Damn it.
Yes, Edward would. I'll show it to you.
Yeah. Could I give, like, an Arcana check on it? See if I know what I'm looking at?
Okay.
That is a 19.
It's a rock. It's a really cool rock.
Nothing
It's
special
giving
about
off a little bit of energy, but you've never seen anything like it. It's a weird rock.
So it's a magic rock, but I have no idea what it is.
The neatest thing about it is as you look at this rock, it'll take, like, any light that hits it seems to reflect not just on it, but through it. And it seems to reflect brighter on the other side. Like it passes through it, kind of like a prism.
Okay.
But the rock is a rock. So it's like, you don't know what kind of magic this is because you've never seen it.
But it has magic.
It definitely has a magic, just not what kind that you're familiar with.
I'm gonna, like, so I think, like, Ticto has these, like, glasses on that he, like, flips through them, like, different, like, lenses, like, that are different filters for different magic things. He's like, it's definitely magic, but I've never seen anything like it before. That's strange.
I definitely feel, I don't know. Would it be weird to say good holding it?
I mean, that's definitely a good sign if you don't feel, you know.
You guys, as you are walking and talking, you come around and you see a man dragging a very heavy, it looks like he's dragging a heavy parcel trying to move like merchandise over, like, and he's got like a sled that's obviously broken, and he's like pushing it, trying to lift it and move it. And as you get up closer, you see he's a satyr, and he's got a heavily loaded wagon. And you can see that in it is like all sorts of like fruits and vegetables and like produce. And he's dressed in the simple garb of a farmer. But he can't get any of the stuff moving. Like it looks like the wheel had broken completely off of his wagon, and he's just and he's like, Tez,
Yes.
do you mind giving a man a little bit of help?
Well, of course we would. Wouldn't we, boys?
Sure. What do you need?
I'm gonna eye him very suspiciously, but go aye.
What do you need, good sir?
And he's a very he's very flustered, but he's dressed in a simple garb. You know, like he's got like kind of overalls on. They're dirty. For just at a glance, you could tell this is a worker of the fields. Like he's obviously a farmer. You know, he's got the broad brimmed hat with the horn holes coming through, and he's like I was taking my produce to the market in Sharn, hoping and my wagon broke. Would you be willing to help? I can pay you.
Oh.
Well, the one time I don't take mending. We can see what are you in need of, good sir? Are you need us to carry your produce? Are you needing us to drag your wagon? What is going on? You can tell that myself and my companion are merely gnomes. I don't know how much help we can give you in the strength department.
My wagon's broken. If you could help me fix it.
Yes.
I heard you said you don't have mending.
I do not have that spell.
That's a shame. It would have been very useful.
Yes.
One would say a go-to cantrip you should probably put in your arsenal or spellbook whenever you create a character. Oh, I digress.
I have a limited amount of spells that I have to choose from, good sir. There's only so much time, if you know what I mean.
The two of you are a bit perplexed as to how well versed the satyr farmer seems to be on spell knowledge.
Yes.
I'm going to become
do you know
more
so much
suspicious.
about spells, sir?
It's irrelevant. Why? He's like, I apologize. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Tim. Tom Tummy Tap. For those of you, I may have met some of you before.
Yes.
I know not of a Tim Tom Tummy Tap.
Can I take a look at his
Can I get a
wheel?
history check?
Yes.
To see if I know. All right.
First up, you can take a look at his wheel. Absolutely.
How bad is it broken, and what is it made out of?
Are you investigating?
Sure.
Let's get an
I would
investigation.
also like to
Really?
investigate the wheel as well.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna look really hard at Tom Tummy Tap and roll a history check.
Okay, what did you get, Edward?
Edward got a 20.
Okay, you can see this is a very just simple axle and pin system. It's just the axle through the wheel and a pin through it to hold everything together. It looks like the pin is broken. But in order to fix it, you need somebody that's going to be able to lift the wagon up and then put the wheel back on. And that's just not a job that can be done by one person.
And what did you say it was made out of?
It's all wood. It's very sturdy wood, but it's all wooden.
Okay.
Again.
Your people have heard of the legendary brewer mage, Tim Tom Tummy Tap. And, but you're shocked to hear of him coming around in Eberron. You've heard of him in other places and storytellers that come from places like Faerun or Sigil, but you've never heard of him in Eberron.
Well, Mr. Tim Tom Tummy Tap, which brings you to Eberron?
I am selling my wares. As he opens, lifts the back up, and with kind of like a little wink and a smile, he opens it up, and you do see fruits and vegetables and all the like produce. And as he pulls it back, you see the bottles with the little dragon holding the little flagon, that symbol of the Tim Tam Tummy Tap Brewery, and you're like, I've seen that before. And he smiles. He goes, "You've heard? Heard of
Yes,
us?"
I have heard of the glorious brews of Tim Tam Tummy Tap breweries.
I thank you. I'm very proud of them. Though the
Do
original
I
Tim
overhear
Tam
any of their
brewer
conversation?
is a gnome. I'm more of an employee, a representative, if you will. I'm not the Tim Tam Tummy Tap. I am a Tim Tam Tummy Tap.
Oh, that's interesting. I'd always heard it was one man, but
That was a long time ago.
I see.
He pulls out what looks to be a card, and it says Sigourney Furfoot, registered dealer of Tim Tam Tummy Tap's fine ales. And then he hands it. He's like, "My card," and he puts it back. We are told to introduce ourselves as Tim Tam Tummy Tap in name recognition to help boost sales.
Makes sense to me. Yes,
Yes,
we'll help you any way we can, Tim Tam. And I wink
I
at
would
him.
be ever grateful.
Let's see. You guys were having a look at the wheel. What do you guys think we need to do to get this fixed?
It actually looks like quite an easy fix, but it will take some doing by at least one or two of us.
I'll help fix it.
Yes, it looks like maybe there's a pin that maybe popped off or whatnot. We just need to replace the pin.
It broke, but I have spares. I just can't do it myself.
Ooh.
He
That
very
is helpful.
jauntily gets up and steps back, and he goes to the front of the wagon where there's a little box under the driver's seat, and he pulls it out, and you see him ruffling through, and he pulls out pin. It's he's got a whole bunch of them, 3 or 4 of them, and he pulls out one. He's like, "I always keep spares with me. It's good to have the parts you need on hand. If you never know what's going to happen, but I'm not strong enough to lift the wagon myself. But I have the pin."
Very well. We shall help you.
Well, lads.
Yes. I suppose I can help.
Gonna get ready to lift the wagon.
As you get ready to lift the wagon, before you do so, Edward kind of comes over to you and he, places a hand on top of your head because you're smaller than him, and he just kind of looks down at you and says, "We can do this. You are strong, and I will help." And he will cast guidance on you.
What are the effects of that?
Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to any one ability check of their choice. The die can be rolled before or after making the ability check. Then the spell ends.
Okay.
And with that, I will attempt a athletics check to try to lift the wagon.
You are, or
Rather, what I'll
you're-
do is I'll assist. I'll assist so that he has advantage on the roll.
Okay.
okay.
And I'll get ready with the pin.
Well, I'm glad I have advantage. Wow, that was terrible. 2 absolutely awful rolls.
You
I
can
got
still
a
add the
6.
d4.
Well, that's 6 plus 5. 11. Yeah.
Is that with the d4?
That is with the D4.
Wow.
Yeah, then I've got a plus 5 on that check.
He's you start lifting and you're able to get it. You were expected to get in there and grab it, lift it up off the ground, and you're like me, barbarian, me strong, and you're lift. But you just managed to get it up high enough for them to put the wheel on, just barely. And it was nowhere near as impressive as you wanted. Like, you wanted to do the full-on, like, press up over the head, lift in the air.
I am now
Like,
upset
lift
with
it up
myself
his pinky.
visibly.
Yes.
I'm like visibly flustered, just like.
But you guys are able to. You don't need to roll for put a pin in a hole. I mean, like, it's being held up, and you're just. It's not like a really difficult thing to do. So you get in there, you get it. Fodor sets it down. Sigurd is able to take it back and forth. It rolls easily, and you hear he's like, "Oh, my thanks. It's perfect. How can I thank you?" And he reaches in there and he pulls out one gold piece and hands each one of you, gives each one of you a gold piece. He's like, "I thank you. That's all I can."
Thank you, sir.
And what time of day is it now? Like, you spent 2 hours probably doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
It's probably between like getting the camp set up or torn down and getting going and stuff. Yeah.
So about 2.5 hours this took. All right, cool. So you get there and he's like, "Can I offer anything else to you? Would you be interested in perhaps some ale, of my ale? A small, of course, but
Of course.
like, if I
Oh,
could
of course.
No thanks. I'll pass.
Oh, okay. He'll rummage around. Let me get a D4 roll from you, Kikdo.
D4.
Determine which one you get.
2.
Okay. He's like, "Oh, you've got Rosemary's mead. It's and he hands it out. He's like, "This is a delightful little. It's made from the petals of roses and a very special spring water. If you're sick, it will cure it right up, and also pretty solid head buzz."
Nice. Well, thank you very much.
This one will, if you are poisoned, it will knock that out. That's the effect of it. You have one use of it. It is one swig of it. But since you're both gnomes, you can get 2 uses out of it.
Nice.
Yeah, because you're tiny. As you guys are sitting there talking and like kind of like looking at it, and you hear this rumble down the street, down the road. You hear it, and it's like loud. There's like a rumble. You hear, "Faster, boys! We've got to make Sharn by nightfall." And as you see cresting over in the distance, you see the shape of what looks like a ship on these 4 massive wheels. And you see this, and you can see the captain standing at this over-the-top ship wheel. And he's like, he's got this bright blue coat on with like the like gold lacing up the garish hat, 2 polished horns, just like shooting out the side of his head. He's a massive creature, and he just comes ripping at. As he sees you guys, he almost goes past. He's like, "Oh, hold on, lads!" And it comes to a screeching halt, throwing dirt up in the air and like scaring the shit out of Birdnacious. And you look down, and leaning over the rails is a large, garish minotaur with like rings in his nose and all the way through his and all around his ears. And it's like, "Oh, lads, what do we have here? Is that a salesman? Is that a Tim Tom Tummy Tap representative? I know that meat anywhere."
Yes, that would be Tim Tam Tummy Tap salesman.
Fortuitous! My
I'm just
name's
gonna look at this
Bertrand
landship.
Wildbagger. Merchant. How goes it? What brings you to the King's Road alone, so poorly provisioned on this day?
Well, we were on a train, then there was a thief, and we followed him, killed him, took the stuff back. But we didn't think that far ahead, and now we're stuck because we jumped off a
What
train.
did he steal from you? Are
They
you
s-
are you, hold up. The train, as in the lightning rail,
Yes.
as in that thing that's 150 feet in the air, powered by magic, you jumped off it. He must have stole something of great value from you. I'd have just let it go.
Well, there was someone on the train that he tried to kill for it, so...
Ah, he stole a dear friend's personal possessions.
No.
That's good on you, looking out for a... What do you
No.
mean, no?
It's just a random person.
What?
Yeah, we decided to help him.
Right.
He got really upset about it. Guy tried to slit his throat, so we healed him. He got really upset that he stole his stuff. I don't know. The only thing we found on the thief's possession
Shut up,
was
shut up, hold up. Let me recap and see if I'm following what you're talking about. So, you three are on this train. I assume all three of you know each other for some time, am I correct?
Well, actually,
I like looking at
believe
this
I
out of
just
me.
met them the other day.
No.
I am too busy slowly moving Beardnacious to the landship, like actively drooling just a little with my hand out, like trying to touch the landship.
I had never met them before yesterday.
Hold up. Oh, you hear him yell. Hey, face, pull down the ramp. I need to hear this story proper. And you hear this growling. All right, I hate that name. I hate it. And you see this tabaxi with an overwhelmingly thick patch of face fur, like grudgingly put like lower down the gangplank, and he's like, Sparks, bring my chair down. And you see this like garish, like golden automaton come down with like these lightning bolts like built into the metal of his skin. And he's carrying down this garish chair that's oversized. And he's like, I made that. Yeah. I called him Sparks. Anyways, he does the stuff I don't want to do. So this big crew, that's Furface. He's got a name, I can't pronounce it. And then we've got Sparks over there. And then you see this very small halfling. He's like, that's Big Jim. He's our navigator. He plans most of where we're going. Yeah. By the way, this is me crew. It's of the Downed Falcon. Used to be called the Skywater Falcon, but money's been a little tight, and I can't refuel. Which is why I'm hoping to go and sell some of me wares in Sharn and get some money so we could get back up in the sky.
Well, it just so happens that
Anyway,
we're...
enough. Let me go back and understand, because I need to recap what you've just heard, because it may be the most wild story I have heard in many weeks. So you three do not know each other.
Not
Saw a
before
person
yesterday.
Get murdered. You're like, not my business. Let me make it my business. Jumped up, healed him. He cried. You're like, right, I'll get your stuff back. Flung yourself out of a train, killed a person you don't know, found a bag, looked at it, go, that's some stuff, capped out, and now we're walking back helping a guy that sells booze. Is that about the long and short of it? All at once? Just curious.
We also met some badger druids.
We're not even going to add that to the story. That literally is a little too much weird. So,
Well, I mean, we did find this
nose
scroll,
is-
and I'm going to show him the scroll and be like, it gives me a headache when I look at it, though.
Oh, thank you. Let me look right at this as he rolls it back up and puts it in the pouch.
I was not giving it to you.
He's what?
Oh, he gave it back?
No. As soon as you said it, because you said, he's like, you're like, it gives me headaches when I look at it. He's like, right. He just twists it up and puts it right back in the pouch. He's like, I feel it's enough trouble for one day. And you said it hurts looking at it. I'm good. I just want to hear, what possessed the three of you to be like, go home, jump out of a train, and murder a person we've never met. Were you even 100% certain that was the right person? Or you just see a person with a pouch and we're like, bang, bang, dead time.
Oh, it was the same person. There was no doubt about that.
Like 100%, like honest to God's truth.
Who else would have slit a man's throat, stole his shit, and jumped off of a train? Let's be real here. Like,
I don't know.
you're saying those are like two... There's a possibility that those are separate occurrences?
I'm just questioning your judgment right now. I feel like you might... Does impulse control, have you heard that phrase before?
I fuck around with time. There's no such thing as impulses. I just kind of do what comes with the flow, if you know what I mean.
I'm now sensually caressing the underside of the Landship and completely oblivious to everything going on around me.
He's gonna turn and be like, hey! What are you doing? Hey, are you in Birdnacious? Yeah, are you in, Birdnacious both, like, rubbing on it? Is it, like, a real creepy,
yes,
like...
Beardnacious is, like, rubbing the side of his face. His
like
wattles are all, like, purple.
Austin
He's
Powers,
puffed up. He's just, like...
humping the laser scene? Is
Yes.
it like that scene in Austin Powers where Mini-Me was, like, banging the laser? Is it like that, or are we, like, one step below that?
One step below. There's no like thrusting going on, but Beardnacious is full on like he's inflated, like he's trying to get chicks and rubbing his face on the side, wattles all engorged in blue, and I'm just like, oh.
Can I help you, sir?
We're like wipe this slobber off my mouth and just look at it and be like, oh, sorry. God, you have an incredible landship, sir. I was just admiring it and got caught up in the moment.
Oh, you...
Sorry.
It's technically an airship, but,
It's on the land. It's got wheels. I mean, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Have to make it work, but yes, he's quite... Feel free to go look around if you'd like. I mean... Leave your weapons and your stuff here. I mean, obviously, leave all, so you don't take anything, but you're welcome to go take a look around. He's like, "Oi, Big Jim!" And you see the halfling come over, who's like 6 inches taller than you, and he's like thrilled. He's like, "Yeah!" He's like, "What do you want, little man? I'll show you." He's like, "You want to see the ship? Come on with me." He's like all puffed up because now he's like,
"Oh, I want it! I want it! I want it!"
You get to go on the Landship. You are able to explore and get a tour of the Landship.
Very happy about this.
All right. Does any of you two go before we let Fodor McNarrigal have his waking fantasy of touring a Landship?
I mean, I'm fine with talking to the Minotaur dude, to be honest.
Okay. All right. As you guys are all just like going around, you look over and Furface is like in heated negotiation. Like he's got a pouch out, he's like bouncing the money around, and he's like pointing at all the brew. And you see the satyr like takes the money, hands over barrels, and Furface just walks in like arms filled with jugs. And he walks and he looks.
Satyr just like turns around and starts heading back home because he's just sold his whole stuff.
Like he's like beyond ecstatic. This Furface has got like a whole like bottles upon bottles. He just walks in and like sees the cap. He's like hisses a little bit, like goes up. Fodor, you see him like this tabaxi walk in, obviously towering over you, and with the armfuls of just jugs with the little Tim Tam tummy tap dragon meat brew all over him. And he comes right in, walks into a door, like kicks it open, kicks it shut with his foot, and Big Jim's like, "Fuck! He's gonna be worthless this afternoon, I can tell. And cats can't hold their liquor for shit. So anyways, Right, where do you want to see first?
You're like muted, Dave.
Yeah, you're muted. It's weird
bad.
to watch your mouth move.
I everything. I now look like a 13-year-old who is stuck into the AVNs. So I'm just like,
Oh, nice.
oh, everything.
He's like, right. He's like, well, we'll start at the back. And he takes you to the back, and you get to see. It's not a big ship. Like, it's big because it's out of the water. But, like, as far as ships go, it's not big.
It's like
It's
a
not,
schooner.
Yeah, like a crew
Right.
of 2 or 3 is about all it needs. It's got. So, but he takes it back. He's like, and here's the aft deck, the poop deck, if you're nautical terms, you know. And he's trying to like make it more grand than it really is. But the reality of it is it's just this is where they hoard their crates and stuff. A little bit of like the dry cargo that they can keep out. And then he takes it down. He's like, and this is where we sleep. We got 2 cabins and some common areas with hammocks and bunks and things. The main holds downstairs. You go downstairs. There's a small holding area for like the stuff that can't be in the elements. And also you see a rather elaborate, and this is actually kind of impressive. It is a laboratory table that is magically suspended in the air about an inch, so that it doesn't get jostled. And he goes on to explain that's what Captain Bertram will do his stuff, his tinkering on. And he goes on to explain that he does a lot of alchemy, and so everything needs to be stable. So it's suspended off the ground, so like no matter any bumps or jostles, the table will stay nice and square. So like he can work on it. And that's what and as he's telling you the story, he's like, he's like, the hope is when we get to Sharn, we're able to, create some potions and artifacts that we're able to, get the downed falcon back up in the skies and repaired so we could do our work proper. But for now, this is our only plan we've got. And then he takes you back up, and you see the captain's cabin, which is in the front half of the ship, and then right up is, the steering deck where you see you got the wheel, and unlike most ships where the steering's in the back, this one's in the front. And he shows you, he's kind of happy about it. Another design of Captain Bertram is it's got like a differential in there, so it's got a bunch of different angles that it turns. So the wheel actually is connected to a differential that goes straight down to another one that'll go out to the rudder in the back, and that'll also turn the back wheel. So it's kind of like a forklift where it swings from the back instead of the front. But he said that the captain likes to be, up front, to have the wind in his face first.
Perfectly respectable. So, Jim, what does this beautiful craft run on when it's working as intended, as you say? Although it seems fantastic down here on the ground.
It's a difference. Intended originally, it was on, those crystals that levitate the lightning rail?
Aye.
It's something like that was smack dab in the middle of it when we floated the whole thing indefinitely. But we got in a bad way a little while back. We got shit-faced, and someone boarded and took it. And so, since then, we've been trying to find a new one. I mean, we can get in the air for small periods of time using, like, alchemist fire to heat the boilers and move it, but it has to be magical, and that's terribly expensive and not worth the flight. It's only maybe an hour and a half at best. It's not... We're looking for a more permanent solution. And Captain Bertram believes that if we really get to Sharn and able to hustle and move a lot of his more impressive inventions and creations, we should be hopefully in the next 4 or 5 years able to get a crystal large enough to get the ship back up in the air and thus continue properly our life as explorers and adventurers. But for now, it's merchants it is.
I see.
Was it just Fyodor there for that talk?
No, yeah, it's him. You two are outside, listening to Captain Bertram just continue to go on the rant of disbelief, as like he where he's really struggling is how you guys decided to jump off the train, barely knowing each other, to go like it's the height plummet that he can't get, and you you're actively when Fodor McNurgle is coming off the ship, you're actively standing on top of something, casting Featherfall on yourself and flinging yourself off of it to demonstrate. But like, no, it wasn't that big of a deal. Because
Let me show you. I'm going to climb up in a tree and be like, watch.
Yeah.
And then like...
he's like, I get that. And as they're walking off, Big Jim's like asking Fodor, you're not thinking of starting a life, are you? The life of a airship crewman? Crewman.
Not really. I mean, it is really cool. I would start there. But one day I hope to captain one of something like this. But I like the land more. The air freaks me out. That's why I ride a turkey, not a giant eagle.
You want to be a landship captain?
Yeah, who doesn't want to be a landship captain?
To be honest, I've never even thought of it. Like, I've looked at being on the ground as kind of like bullshit. Would your boat go in water?
With enough magic, anybody can fly. I mean, you get a big bird or a dragon or just some magic. Anybody can fly. But to move at speed across the land on wheels, that takes skill. Or you'll fucking die.
Mr. McNurgle, you're an odd... But I like you.
I've heard this before.
A landship captain. And your musings are interrupted from, here I go! And you see TikTok
Swan dive.
floating, just fluttering like a sheet of paper in the wind down to the ground. And, Bertram, well, baggers, you know I'm quite familiar with Featherfall. I understand how it works. I have piloted a ship in the sky before. It's like parachutes. You know what? I get it. Motivated for curiosity and the greater good. Let's just leave it at that.
It just seemed like a fun time. I was a little bored on the train, if I'm being completely honest.
I feel
no one would talk to me, okay?
I feel we're getting a little bit more to the heart of the matter at this moment. Like, now we're getting...
This guy was afraid of his shadow. This one was angry all the time. I was really bored, okay? And I decided to cast Featherfall on myself and the three of them, and they followed. So, here we are.
That's accurate.
Let's just say okay. Where are you three impetuous lads headed?
Shatter?
I guess the thing I would ask is, could we ride with you to Sharn?
Let me get a persuasion check.
Oh, he asked.
Oh, fuck.
Happy face. Oh. I suspect Ben has clearly bewitched his dice.
Yeah, so I like how you showed us everything else on your desk, but there we go, there's the dice, good job.
I
You
rolled,
look strangely
I
like
rolled
your
my-
last
I rolled my
natural 20.
third
Like,
nat
you just
20
have
tonight.
one- I'm just saying that look conspicuously like your other natural 20. Do you have just one glued
No.
in like a 20 in like the lower
You think
part
I
of your
have more
brain?
than one metallic D20
I mean, he
in
did
this
roll it.
style?
You just got it permanently glued at the edge of your box. You're like, no, that one's natural. I'm like, you were using yellow dice a little bit ago, buddy. Well,
Whatever. If you want to accuse me of that,
no,
fine,
you're
but
fine.
no.
You're fine. I trust you.
Literally, I've rolled 4 nat 20s tonight, and I'm so excited.
I know. I'm starting to get suspicious.
Because remember how bad those dice treated me last
Yes, I knew.
last
That's why.
game?
That's why I'm like, wow. So anyway, now that you've got your new set of weighted dice, very
Yeah.
happy with all 20s on
I
each side.
I bought clones of the dice from last game.
So he looks around. He's like, it wouldn't hurt to have another crew on the ship. He looks over at the satyr.
we are-
Who's like,
We are very small, you know.
well, yes,
He's
I
got
was
a
able to
point.
see.
I mean, except for
hold
him,
on. Oi!
but
He goes, oi, tummy tap dealer, where are you headed? And he's sitting there with this big bag of coins, and he's like, oh, I'm going home. I've sold what I need to, and I'm not going to the city. Thank you, fairy cat, whatever his name is, and good day. And he turns and he like continues fussing around and sealing up his wagon, and he hauls it around and starts walking back the other way. And he's like, right, apparently we've done many good deeds today. Yeah, hop aboard. None of you get land sick, do you?
I don't know. I've never been on a land ship.
I mean, I've ridden
I mean,
the lightning rail, and I jumped out of a train, and I was fine, so I don't think so.
yeah, those are magically suspended and usually are a smooth trip. This is a ship on wheels going over a road. There'll be bumps and you know what? Whatever. Let's just
Have
see.
you ever tried to ride a turkey for miles, maybe even days?
You are the weirdest gnome I have ever even heard about.
Well,
But I really don't see how this day could get any weirder. All aboard, let's go! And he gets up and he's like, Sparks! Chair! And Sparks grabs his chair as he walks up. And now it's uncomfortable now you're close and you see Sparks. And Sparks is eye to eye with the captain, so he's like 7.5 feet tall. And he's just this big, like, golden thing with like, and now you see, and there's lightning bolts that are in iron, which is weird that he chose to use gold as the outside and iron as like the tattoo mark. But it's kind of striking, and you're thinking, like, he's got this most serious face you've ever seen, and you're like, a little off-put, but like also, you're like, that's pretty dope. At the same time, you're like, that's pretty metal. I love this. And you guys very quickly, because you have very few possessions, because you didn't plan well while jumping out of the lightning rail. You have very few things with you. Are quickly up on the downed Falcon, and the Captain Bertram gets up in front. You know, he mutters a few words in a language you haven't heard before, and the ship just like starts shooting down the road.
hell yeah.
Yeah, Fodor, where are you?
I am gonna be up near the front somewhere, just
All right, you're like
smiling
full-blown
like a
Titanicing
lunatic.
it, like you're just like
Yeah.
I'm
Yes,
holding
like-
him from behind.
Okay. All right. Well,
Like-
yeah. And he's like, bruh.
Bastard Jay!
Yeah. So while the gnomes are busy, like supporting each other on the bow of the ship, and everybody's looking like me, like these are two of the weirdest people I've ever seen. Edward, what are you doing?
I'm going to be towards the absolute back of the ship. And
Of course you are.
I'm going to kind of distract myself using druid craft to kind of like produce a small golden orb, or I'm sorry, not a small golden orb. I'm going to use Druidcraft to sense what the weather is going to be like for the next 24 hours.
Okay. Let me get a D10 roll.
Okay. Okay, floor dice, got it. That's a 6.
Okay. It's gonna be light showers, partly cloudy.
Okay.
But the showers will be most likely in the evening, early night. You relay this to the captain, and they're like, perfect! And Constitution roll from everybody.
Do I have time to cast guidance on myself?
No.
Okay.
Ooh. Con. 11.
All right. Hodor.
5.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Edward.
I also got a 5.
Nice. All right. Hodor, you're like, I'm the king of the Edward, you're like, oh my. Ticto, you're there, you're like, but nothing comes up. The break point was 10. So you're like, you guys spend the next few hours until your stomach stabilizes, like hanging over the rails, being like,
The only reason I almost puked was because of Fyodor.
yeah.
Because
He's like, and
He sent him over the edge.
yeah.
yeah.
Captain Bertram's like, that's land sickness. It'll clear up quickly. And then he's like, Big Jim, give him a drink. So he's like, Big Jim comes around just ear to ear smiling, especially the fact that the gnomes that he likes to like lean down. He's making over the top. Like he's like doubling over and being like, here, little guy, have your drink. And you're like, motherfucker, you're only 6 inches taller than me. But like he's really leaning in that he's not the shortest person on the ship. But he gives you a drink and you guys pound it back and you feel passable. It's a concoction to help stable your guts. So a couple hours you throw up and then after a while the captain's like, we're gonna give him some juice. You look outside and the landscape is just ripping by. You see trees that are like blurred. You see like the river behind is like it's moving so quickly it looks like just a like blue road. And this ship is moving down the road. It's very impressive and you can tell it's obviously magically powered. But the night, it's uneventful. You see the sun, like, as you go, like, starts moving through the horizon, and then it gets dark. The captain is like, well, we're gonna have to drop anchor for a while. Which you guys think is ridiculous, because he could just, stop. But, when in Rome. And, you guys all find yourself a place to sleep. Do you want to set up a watch or anything? He explains to you, we're about half a day travel to Sharn. He doesn't like driving at night simply because you can't see where you're going.
Collisions.
Yeah.
So I will offer to do watch, the first watch, but I will also want to cast Find Familiar during this time.
Okay. He's like, we don't really need a watch. Spox doesn't sleep. He usually just walks the perimeter. And you see Sparks, like, going and getting out this massive crossbow. I mean, it's like big thing. And they've got a practice routine. He's like, you can do watch if you like. It's up to you, whatever makes you comfortable, but I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Edward will make the effort to absolutely not sleep.
Not at all? All right.
I will take the level of exhaustion.
Okay. Where are you?
I'm still towards the back of the ship.
Okay. Now just for reference, this is a ship with like masts and everything. There is a crow's nest.
Oh, no. I think I'll just stay on the upper decks.
Okay. All right. You and Fodor, where are you?
Going to find a spot midships
Okay.
and use Beard Nacious as a pillow and just knock right out.
Okay. He does before he goes to bed. Big Jim explains to you. There's hammocks in the back if you'd like one. Furface is pretty deep in his bottle right now, but if you could get through his snoring, you're welcome to it. And then he's like, but for me, going to me bed. And he heads off.
Alright. I'm
No,
so
you just got it.
so if the watch isn't a thing to be worried about, I'm still going to cast my Find Familiar spell.
You may.
And I am looking for I'll leave it up to your discretion, Joel. I want an owl, but I want it to it'll either be Fey or Celestial. That's up to you.
Okay. Well, just give me a D6 roll and do evens or odds.
Evens.
Celestial.
All right. So,
So, what does your familiar look like, and what is his name?
So it's a little, it's a owl, obviously, and it is it says tiny beast. I'm gonna say it is a like gray owl, and seems to have like a slight glow to the feathers and stuff, but they respond to the name of Toktik.
Creative.
Because that's not going to get confusing at all.
Clockdo. There we go.
Yeah, what happened to David?
I'm here. Did I cut out or something?
Actually, no. Yeah. I want him to respond to the name of Watcher.
So, your owl's name, it is a tiny thing named Toktik Tik
No.
Watcher.
No. The name his name is Watcher. Sorry.
Huh?
His name is Watcher. No, none of the stupid shit that I came up with first.
I kind of like him having the 3 names.
No, Watcher.
Okay. All right. Now, Edward. Now, then you go to bed, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna talk to my familiar a little bit, unless you don't want to role play that.
We can, but we're gonna go to Edward right now because you are busy summoning it. So, Edward, what are you doing? You have decided not to sleep.
Yes, these people seem very nice, but I'm still I'm having some trouble really letting my guard down around them. I don't know.
Okay.
It just seems like they're a little too nice.
Okay, so what are you doing then?
I'm just keeping a watchful eye, just trying to make sure that at the very least that automaton. You said it's an automaton, or is it a warforged?
It is an automaton. It is made by Captain Bertram, who is an artificer.
I will make sure to try to keep an eye to see if that thing comes near me during the night.
Okay. So you spend the entire night watching him?
Just watching over my shoulder, really. Not necessarily watching him specifically, but just making sure that,
As the beginning of the night, as I said, he grabs this big crossbow and he goes down, he gets off the ship, and just spends the entire night just walking around the ship. Nothing, doesn't deviate, doesn't do that, just all night, doing a circle around the ship. Sometimes he'll reverse back and go, sometimes he'll go, back and forth, but he never goes back on the ship. He just is, guard walk all night long.
9 o'clock and all is well.
So as when the sunlight comes up, he, climbs back up and puts the crossbow away, and begins like just busting around the ship. Absolutely nothing happened. So it was exactly as he said it was going to be. Ticto, you're having a conversation with your owl.
Well, hello, friend watcher.
Hello.
Yes. So you are
Yes.
to be my familiar then? You've answered the call?
I guess that's what it was. It's less of a call and more of a forceful pull down here.
Oh,
It wasn't so much an option as a magical entrapment. I feel.
Oh, well, do you not want to join me?
Well,
I'm just
going to
getting
be
like
honest.
straight up puppy dog eyes.
I'm gonna be honest. My life as a celestial is pretty cush. All I do is nothing. And you're like, hey, familiar. That already sounds like more work than I would be doing regularly.
So I'm
not the most motivated of creatures.
So I'm gonna point out the spell is find familiar, not summon and bind familiar. Just to be clear.
Well, you found me, and I'm here. So,
Okay. Well,
did it say find overjoyously happy familiar thrilled to be in service to you?
I mean,
Or
I
did he
was-
say find familiar, it might be a surly prick?
I'd have to read the description of the spell again, but I was hoping it would be someone that would be excited to be my friend.
Yeah, well, this relationship is all of 13 seconds long, so, we have time to build. But right now, I was sitting on my ass doing nothing, and now I'm not sitting on my ass doing nothing.
Alright, fuck off and do all things then, dick.
I like that. He just immediately just sits there and starts looking around.
I'm just gonna go to bed.
He's just sitting there now like, that's all he does.
Alright, then go be an owl then. I don't care. You're just mean.
You see, like, as he's doing, like, after, like, you're sleeping, but you feel the rustle as, like, he kind of flies in and, like, perches on the edge of where you're sleeping. And you're like, he might not be so bad. As you see, and then you hear him, like, rustling and he goes to sleep.
I
So
smiled
you're
to
like-
myself. That's
Yeah.
what I thought, motherfucker.
That's what I thought, mother. The day starts out. The ship isn't flush with activity. Like everybody is moving around except for Furface. He is not moving around very easily. He's in fact inching his way around, and like clearly not having a good morning because somebody didn't drink water with his booze, and he is not doing well. But the rest of you guys are up. Big Jim gets a heaping pile of breakfast going. Bertram is surprisingly a vegetarian, which you didn't think Minotaurs were vegetarians. You, for some reason, thought they were like straight carnivores, but he's an avid vegetarian, and he has a breakfast salad, which weirds you out the whole time he's eating it. But everybody, and then, everybody else just regular eggs, bacon, and they give you breakfast. and they're off. You know, they're off within about an hour of waking up. They're up and back on the road. How are you guys waking up? Edward, point of exhaustion. Please mark that down.
Yep.
We're gonna go with Fodor. You slept on Bird Nacious on the
Yep.
deck, turned down a functional hammock. How are you feeling when you wake up?
Great.
Okay. Are you still as elated as you were about being on a land ship?
I'm still pretty happy about it, and now my normal suspicion is starting to creep back in a little bit. I'm still very happy to be on a land ship. I still get excited and be like, oh, every now and then, but now I'm starting to watch the crew a little bit closer.
Okay.
You're like,
So you're like alternating
dubious
between being like,
gaze.
oh.
You're like,
Like you're side-eyeing everybody. You're like, what is the deal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just dubious side eye and awkward shit rubbing.
Okay. So you're like now starting to like awkwardly move around, like your hand never leaves the side rail of the ship, but at the same time you're like, these guys are nice, maybe too nice. You mentioned this to anybody?
No.
No? Okay. And now Edward, you wake up. No, sorry, not Edward. Ticto, you wake up with Watcher, asleep, and as you wake up, he kind of wakes up, looks, and he's like, "Oh, what does exactly a familiar do?"
Just hang out and help me out when I need you to? Question mark.
What does that look like?
Do you want to just hang out on my shoulder and then do shit when I tell you to? You can sleep most of the time.
You're saying words I like.
I mean, just keep an eye out for shit that might try to fuck with us, but other than
Great,
that...
great. So my primary job
is to sit on my shoulder.
sit on your shoulder and look at stuff.
Yes. And I might send you out to, like, hit something with a spell.
A spell, you say? What?
Yes. I can put a spell on you, and then you can, like, cast a spell on some bitch.
So I'm to sit around, look at stuff, and cast spells on things,
Yes.
and eat rodents.
Yes. You can act like an owl whenever you so choose.
I want to go shit on the front of the ship. Can I do that?
Maybe wait till we're in Sharn, and then you can. Is that fair?
Yes.
Because
We'll go
I'm
to the
afraid that
back,
if my familiar shits on the front of the ship, the captain might get pissed off and kick us off the ship.
Right. So, what is a Sharn?
Oh, it's a town.
What is a town?
Okay, so a town is like a big gathering of people with a bunch
There's a
of...
big So is this a town?
This is a ship.
There's a gathering of peoples here. Is this
I
a
did
town?
not know that I was going to have to explain existential thoughts. And I'm just going to, like, telepathically project the concept of town, people, city, those sorts of things to
So,
Watcher.
to everybody else, it looks like Ticto and the owl are having a staring contest. For, like, hours. They're just, like, right face to face with each other, just like... And every now and then you get... And the owl will be like... And then every so often you'll see, like, as it gets further and, like, they start getting, like, a better bond, you start seeing like awkward jokes. They start laughing and like the owl laughing, and you're like, this is an up and down like bit of weirdness.
Why,
But,
yes, Edward is a dick. Oh, shit.
And then he
Start
looks over and
side-eyeing
he's
him
like,
more.
occasionally every now and then, like he'll look at something and like puff up, like his feathers will get all puffy, but like he's super tiny, and so like it's really amazing. It's really humorous. He's like little bitty owls.
Yeah, he's like, he's a tiny creature, so.
Yeah. So it's going. And now Edward, what are you doing now? You're on the ship. You're still full of suspicion. You survived the night from the murderous automaton in your mind. Other than being wiped out, what are you doing?
I'm still just being very cautious around these new people.
Okay. They do.
Who are
bring
you defining as new people? What do you mean, you people?
You know, these Landship crew.
Okay.
But you fully trust the people you met 24 hours ago, but the people you met 12 hours ago, you're like, nah, these people are weirdos.
It's weird. I don't usually like new people, but the two of them seem rather nice. I quite enjoy their company.
We react with our id often enough that it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have anything that I need to worry about them because they just kind of like wear their emotions on their sleeves, if you will.
That is an accurate way, and their actions equally on their sleeves.
Fair enough.
Yes, very much so.
Do I notice that Edward has not slept? Is he like visibly exhausted? Do I need to roll for that?
Yeah, you don't need to roll. You can tell. He's
Okay.
not. Like, he's got some bags under his eyes, and he's moving a little slower.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
You doing okay?
Oh,
You take
yes.
a nap?
No,
just
it's
gonna be like,
fine.
Did you sleep last night?
Enough.
Edward.
Is it a bird?
Edward.
Please.
Is that a bird on your shoulder?
Edward.
Yes.
Deception check, please.
Deception check, all right.
That's fair.
It's the same metal D20 that Ben's using. Also at a 20.
Is it against their insight check, or
Yes,
is it just?
It is going to be against his insight.
Oof.
Natural 20.
7.
Okay, higher than 7.
All right.
All right.
Not that much though. It was 11.
You guys, the ship is moving quickly, and before midday, you can start seeing the towers of Sharn. And none of you have been here before. So you're a little overwhelmed. Like, these things are huge. Like, you've heard it was called the City of Towers before. And but you weren't quite prepared for it. Like, these are hundreds, some are thousands of feet in the air. Some towers are just seem to be like jutting off other towers and going even higher in the air. And like, it's clear that this is a rather impressive city. And it's a little overwhelming to you guys to start. You guys are a little bit like, this is a lot, but also at the same time exhilarating. You get into the ship comes to this like screeching halt, and you don't really know what to call it because he doesn't quite park it as when he stops the ship, like it drops down and the wheels like flop to the side as if like anchors, and it becomes like this standing platform. Like it's not going anywhere. And Bertram's like, right. Ship's moored and we're ready to go. Lads, do you need anything from us? If not, best of luck, and I hope fortune finds you well.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
thank you very much for the ride.
Oh,
Thank you,
anytime.
Captain.
And next time, you would you be interested in joining the crew? Very rarely do I see someone with such passion for the life.
I think given that you'll want to be back in the sky, probably not, but thank you.
Perhaps if our goals align, we'll think about it.
On that, small man, we agree. You are welcome on the downed Falcon whenever you get it. And I bid you good day.
What was his name, by the way?
That his name is Captain Bertram Wowbagger. And he leaves, and you see, just this giant, three-pointed hat, but the gaudy, like he's in all of his gaudy outfits. His bright blue coat that you saw him in the first day, the matching hat, like silver tips on his horns. He's in Sharn, and he's full, ready to go.
And then it was Spark the automaton.
Sparks, his automaton. And then there was Furface, his one of his crewmen, and Big Jim, who is their navigator. You guys disembark, and you stand at the gates of Sharn.
Fodorn, there might be a possibility that maybe the captain would sell you the downed Falcon. You want a Landship? It currently is only a Landship, and he could take whatever money you give him and put it to a down payment on a new ship that flies.
I think that might cost a lot more than I've got.
Oh, it was just a thought.
Great idea, though. I like how you're thinking.
Future goals.
I'm gonna start looking
Future
at Edward
goals,
a little
not
less
current
dubiously
goals.
than I was before.
Edward. I would like to say at this point I have like a gnome hat, and it's just like, have you seen like The Sword in the Stone, like the Disney movie? And it's like Merlin's got like the hat, and it's just like 90 degrees to the
So
side
like
with
the straight point up hat that's got like the little bent tip.
yeah, and it's like
Like that one?
Archimedes sitting on it.
Oh my
That's
God.
what's going on right now.
That is amazing.
So I'm
So
just
are
walking
you-
around,
are
and
you
I've got watchers sitting on my hat.
Are you like full like gnome wizard, like just simple blue cloak, little blue hat, which for some reason it's blue because that's what Merlin had on his
No, I've got like it's black with like clock faces all over it, and I've got
Okay.
like watches all over it and shit.
Nice.
But it's like pointy gnome hat, 90-degree angle, owl sitting
Right.
on the perch.
Nice. Does anybody else have anything special they're doing, or are they just going in?
I would like to be looking around to see if maybe there are some street signs or anything that maybe perhaps is pointing me towards the way of an inn.
I'd be interested in seeing where the train station is, because as worried as that guy was about having lost his bag, I guarantee he's like hanging around. So like we went looking for it and didn't come back. Actually, what time of day
I
is
would
it?
like an intelligence check from all three of you to see if you even remember the features of this person. It is at disadvantage because it was very quick.
Intelligence, you said?
Yes.
Straight or a safe?
Nope. Straight intelligence check.
I
You
got a
guys are trying.
I got a 14.
Okay. Edward,
got-
you look very pleased with yourself.
No, not at all. I got a 9.
You have no idea. Fodor. What? I think you're muted.
Stop muting yourself,
okay.
boy. It's
I don't know
stream
how
time.
that time it happened. 12.
12? You guys remember that he had a mark on his neck, and that he was elvish? You don't remember, Fodor, that's all you remember? Tikto,
Okay.
you remember, that he had kind of like a sharp face, and you're pretty certain if you saw him, you might be able to put it together. But if he was in a crowd of other like elves, you might lose it.
That's fair.
So,
Are you fellas
but
going to find?
all of you remember what he was wearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you fellas going to find the person to return their scroll to them?
I'm gonna try.
I reckon.
Oh
Wouldn't
well,
have to drop by the train station. What time of day is it?
It's right about maybe between 1:30.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the train station. Just to see what we can see. Edward, you want to join us?
Yes, I suppose so. I'm actually rather tired. I was thinking about trying to find an inn, but yes, I suppose we can go to the train station. Perhaps, maybe we can even ask one of the people working there if they remember the man. I don't really remember him all that well myself. I only really remember what he was wearing.
I think I can kind of find him just to see if we.
Well, I
Any
figure
chance,
if perhaps if they can, then they can like maybe provide us with a name, maybe even a location of where he may live.
Well,
I mean,
exactly.
if he did get robbed, then I mean, surely he would have left his information with the station in case they found something.
Okay. You guys have this discussion, and then you come up right on the outside, and then you come up and you see the guards at the gate, and they're like, "Oi! What brings you to Sharn?"
Well,
The Landship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that brought us here. Or do you need something more specific?
You know, I'm. It's very rare that you get somebody that's like answers that question literally. Most of them are like, "I'm here for business," or "I'm here for pleasure," or "women's," or whatever. I guess that is the correct answer. Okay, what purpose do you have for coming to Sharn?
Well, to answer the call of heroism. I'm gonna like look to the other side. Man,
Yeah. Business,
Right.
heroism, you know, same.
Heroism.
Can I get an insight check on
I
this
mean,
person?
is there ever any like reason like other than like does anyone ever say like I'm here to be a shady bitch? Like, does this question ever
You
work
guys are
out for
taking
you?
this conversation in a way that I am not yet really prepared to be answering. Typically, I just get here for business, or sometimes they
You
give
know what?
me gold.
You know what?
But here we're having a
Business.
discussion on the structure of language.
Just you know what?
No,
Would it be happy if I just say
no.
business?
Now you said heroism. Okay, young hero. Let's. Welcome to Sharn.
Thank you,
Yes.
good sir. And what is your name?
Reginald.
Reginald? I will put in a good word for you. I will put in a good report with you for the guard with the guard captain. Thank you very much.
Do you know the god, Captain?
No, I was just gonna put in a good review.
Oh, okay. Well, when you get in, there's going to be a kiosk, and you're going to type in YELP.
He's got the wizard version of Yelp just in his spell book. It's just like there.
I like pull up my spell book. Reginald was great. I really enjoyed talking to him.
My god number is 42397. I greatly appreciate it. But you're on WYELP, Wizard Yelp. Just. Let's do a D&D campaign. Let's go to Eberron. Let's worry about customer reviews. That's important. Let's talk about.
I was just like,
So
I'm gonna
Francis,
put in a good word to your
While doing
superior.
an Eberron campaign, you're doing it wrong.
Right. The rest of this campaign, you just go to the inn. We'll Yelp this one.
I feel
was
like-
dry. Service lackluster.
I feel like out of any D&D realm, Eberron is the one that has the most bureaucracy. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that, like, me saying, like, oh, good, I'll put in a good word to your boss, not like, out of the ordinary. They're, like, all about customer service and shit.
Right. So he gets in. You as he opens the gates to Sharn, it is just as confusing on the ground as it is in the air. Like, there are people everywhere, and it's while there's signs and there's streets, it seems like the majority of the people do not care, and which to follow any kind of direction. They're walking in every which way. Occasionally, you'll see like a magically powered like cart with just moving down the road, or you'll see like an automaton carrying stuff. Every now and then you'll see like weird contraptions moving up and down. There is on every corner is this thing that'll flash red, it'll flash green, and people are supposed to go, but a lot of them like just cutting around the corners, and like it's like just like being chaos. But at the same time as you stop and take it in, very quickly you start seeing the patterns. Like on the one side, everybody's moving this direction. On one side, everybody's moving this direction. Everybody crosses at certain spots. And you start noticing a flow of what's what. And it takes a minute for your eyes to kind of like go from the relative smoothness of the countryside to the busyness of the urban landscape. And you start seeing the signs that are now floating above everybody, and they're written in all sorts of languages, but most importantly, it is written in common, and you're able to see, lightning rail pointed this way, market district this way, the high towers this way, arcana this way, like various things. And thankfully it's pretty well laid out, so like you can get a quick pick by just looking at these of which way to go. Like if you're a wizard, obviously you're looking for high magic, you're gonna go to the arcane tower. If you're gonna go do some shopping, you're gonna go to the market plaza. So you're able to very quickly find the lightning rail, and it's easily marked. It's 2 blocks up and then like 6 blocks over. And it doesn't take long for you to be able to see, like, it's right there. It's this giant structure, and it's got a really neat frame because it's very brightly colored with like a domed roof and some flying buttresses, so it looks like a very wide building, but it's still open. But there's also, it's got a webbing of these like collectors that collect the arcane energy that's coming out of it. So there's like this like netting of lightning coming off the bottom. We're just catching the extra so it doesn't like connect and touch the people that are walking and getting off and on the train. It's draining off and then funneling the energy back into the system. And for those of you that are a little bit more mechanically minded, especially the gnomes, because this is like your go-to thing, you really are like, that's cool. Like it's pretty exciting, but it's a very, very easy to spot building.
Joel, can you check your messages real quick?
No. Yes. All right.
All right.
We can take ourselves a 5-minute break real quick
Perfect. Thank you.
and be back for a bio break.
All right. We'll be right back.
Secret dinner.
Oh no! You're mean to me. You're so mean. No! We don't have what?
All right, we are back.
All right. So you guys are now standing outside of the lightning rail, the Sharn station,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a as I explained before, it is beautiful, it is huge, and it is filled with people.
Mm-hmm.
You guys see the main entrance, and you head on in. What do you do?
I'm gonna project in my familiar what I think this dude looked like. I'm gonna have him fly up high and kind of try and look around, and I'm going to look around for this guy at the same time.
Okay.
So
you
I would like.
go ahead.
I was just going to say that I would like to go up to perhaps someone who is behind like a ticket booth or some sort of administrative building, and I would like to ask them about the robbery on the train the other day, and if they have any details about where I might find this man.
You find a lady behind the counter. She's a small, looks like a goblin descent. Like softer features, like she had goblin in her background, but not like mom or dad. Very serious. And she's like, "Can I help you?"
Yes, miss. I'm inquiring about the robbery that happened on the train. Was 2 days ago?
What are you talking about? There ain't no robbery.
An elvish gentleman, I believe, had something stolen from him.
Ain't nobody reported nothing to us. But the
Oh.
only thing we had a guard get in trouble because the three fools jumped out the back of the train.
Oh, how terrible! Are they all right?
Fuck if I know. They probably died.
Oh, I wonder what would.
Robbery. I mean, it happens on the train.
Crazy
sometimes.
assholes.
Um,
So no one reported being injured or having things stolen, anything like that?
honestly, that's not really my concern. I just sell the tickets. I ain't heard nothing.
Who would we go to for information like that? If you just sell tickets, good ma'am.
I don't know. You can find a conductor that guard on the train. Maybe I don't. We don't really have trouble like this on the lightning rail for the most. It's a very safe way to travel.
Of course. We're not insinuating that it's some sort of like something otherwise. No, we're just looking to return a piece of merchandise, if you will, to this poor man.
When you say merchandise, you see her snap her head over and up. Do any of you speak Goblin?
Let me check.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I'm gonna get more dubious about the
Why did I
ticket
not take
salesperson.
Goblin ever?
You hear a bunch of
Why not?
rapid fire guttural grunts and sounds like you have no idea what she's talking about. And her demeanor changes, like it gets real serious and real like back and forth, boom, 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 rapid fire talk. And then she's like, my supervisor says that if you have any items that you found on the train, you're welcome to turn them into me. And I'll make sure they get to their rightful location.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
I have that shit on my person, and I'm nowhere near Edward.
Okay.
I'll start looking around for you.
Okay. Fodor, where are you?
I am with Edward, and I would like an insight check on this part goblin lady I am very suspicious of.
Okay, go ahead.
And I know nothing.
She's a one, G.
She's a
Probably.
witch.
Like, is it a 3? I'm like,
Yeah, you have no idea.
okay.
Okay. Ticto, you do not quite remember exactly what his face was, but you see a bunch of elven people in similar garb walking around. I mean, there's like, when you gave the description to Watcher, you were hoping for one guy looking around. There's 6. Same garb, same clothes, same neck tattoo of the dragon mark here or on their face or like on their hand, but it's visible. And when they tell you this, it's like it's in the clump over by where people are getting off the train, and they're actively searching people as they get off the train. No one's stopping them.
So the elves are stopping people?
Yep.
Okay, and there's 6 of them?
There's 6 of them, and they're like not all clumped up, like they're not all like standing looking in the same bag. I mean, like there's 6 in a group that are like stopping passengers and being like, "We need to look through your bags."
Okay.
Okay. So they're in a group, but
No.
they're not like, they're not like all looking in the same. They're like a group that's conducting searches.
I'm gonna like look
But,
at them.
Let me get a perception check.
Well, that's a 12 on the die. That gives us a that's a 14 perception.
Okay. You think when you see these people searching, while you're looking around, you think through Watcher's eye, you also see somebody same mark as the person who you killed in the forest, lurking off in the shadows, like watching very intently that same group.
Gotcha. So I see the dude that I murked.
No,
watching.
not a dude with the same mark.
No, like, yeah. So, like, I see, like, a dude from the faction that I murked hanging around watching the faction that I think was stolen from, right?
Yes.
Is he watching all of them equally?
You're gonna have to really check, you're gonna have to, like, get closer to see what he's looking at.
All right, so I'm
or
going
Watcher.
to... Here's what I'm thinking. I want to kind of walk up to, like, one of these dudes, not, like, looking like I'm approaching them, and just kind of, like, bump into them and, like, slip a piece of paper into their hand that says, "You're being watched. Meet me outside."
I would like a sleight of hand check.
Come on.
Ye old put.
Fuck! I got an 11.
Okay, you go to slip your hand, you go to grab this, reach your hand up and grab and touch it. The guy, like, snatches your hand up. Like, instead of him, like, you getting it in there being like, and all subtle, he thinks you're rummaging through it, but he's like, "What are you doing, little man?"
I was trying to be subtle and tell you that you're being watched, but now you've gone and created a scene.
Who's watching?
The House of Yarlin.
He's like, and then he gets this quizzical look on his face, and he goes, "Why? What would they have to do with our business?"
I don't know why you're looking for somebody to come off the train having lost something because they've lost something. The longer we talk, the more attention you bring to yourself. Meet me outside.
He looks at you. Let's get a persuasion check from you.
Fuck. Charisma's not my strong suit. I got a fucking nat 1.
He's gonna, no. I think I'll take me chances. You, however, seem to be oddly informed about what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mind I take a look in, that bag of yours, do you?
I would prefer you didn't, but I don't think you're going
Right,
to take
gonna
no
do
for
it
an
anyway.
answer.
I mean, you could try to do, he's gonna come and grab your bag. Let's get, corresponding strength checks. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck. That's bad. A strength?
Yes.
I got a 5.
He got a 6. He has a +3. He rolled a 3.
God damn it.
So, you guys...
Can I have
He snatches the
No.
bag
Can
and-
I have watcher assist?
No!
Yes.
Watcher's a tiny bird!
He's a bird that he's a familiar. Familiars can provide the help action.
Fine.
I got a 7.
So you guys tug back and forth, and
I'm gonna like boot it. I'm like,
Well, as-
fuck
as
you,
you
asshole!
guys-
I was trying to help you.
he's trying to grab your bag, and like you guys are going back and forth, and then this little owl like flies down and like pecks his hand, and he lets go. He's like, "Oh, son, shut him up!" What the?
And I'm gone.
And yeah, fuck.
Do I notice any of this happen in my
Perception
periphery?
check from you. Let's see.
Oh wow, I probably do. Let me 19 on the dice.
Oh yeah, you see these guys
21.
wrestling over the bag, and you can tell that he's in some sort of distress.
Fiona! It's just like
Book it
book
after
it.
TikTok.
Okay.
Beardnacious away.
And then in an a odd display, we hear a war cry and as a bird just knee high, and there's on top of it there's a 2-foot gnome just barreling towards this group of elvish men. There are wow, 6 of them. Like of the 6 of them, 5 of them are so shocked by this absurdness of what is happening that they like kind of stumble and like drop what they're doing. But one guy is able to keep himself upright. He's like, "The hell is this?" The guy that was like trying to go after Ticto stumbles over like the people that are around him and like the collection of bags that they're looking through, and it's just like a regular like overall chaos, except for the one guy who keeps his wits about him, and he like pulls out himself a dagger. He's like, "We gonna do this?" I guess vote
I'm gonna
or
jump him.
roll for initiative.
I was gonna jump him.
Just feel
Okay,
like
you're gonna-
All right. I had no intention of fighting him. I was trying to follow TikTok, not bum
Okay.
rush the elves.
So then he's.
But if you want me to roll initiative, we could do
No,
that.
no. If that's what you're gonna do, I want a dexterity check, or
Oh no.
hold on, let's do athletics or dexterity, whichever one you have higher.
Okay. Please don't suck. 16.
Okay. The guy pulls out his knife. He's like, "Let's do this," and you're like, ah. You just turn it right after. Yeah, you just turn it like right after.
run away!
Yeah, very, very good. Run away! And as soon as you get in like 2-3 people deep, you and Bird Nation's like calm down and like shh. And you try to use the fact that you're very tiny people in a ton of other people, and get away. So this is just ridiculous. Edward, it's about this time that you run into a rapidly running Ticto and attempting to be very sneaky Birdnacious and Birdnacious and Fodor.
Oh, hey guys, I was just looking for you. Hey, I found a really nice goblin woman. She said that we can like just leave the stolen goods with her, and she can make sure that the person gets it. So job complete.
The elf wants to stick me.
What?
The elf wants to stick me.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna keep on
Okay.
quietly
Ticto, what are you doing? He's talking directly
get
to
out.
you.
Talking to me? I thought he was just
Yeah,
talking to.
Yeah, no, fellas, I found.
I thought we'd
Ticto
like
and-
all like. Okay, I didn't realize
No,
that
you're
we had
all
like.
together.
Okay,
Ticto, Edward found you.
We
and
ran into
Fodor.
Edward.
I tried to help the situation. This dude decided that it was an interrogation, so I fucked off.
Oh, that's. Wait, I think I'm missing context.
So I was trying to be like, "Hey, what y'all looking for?" And he went like, "Hey, let me look in your bag." And I ain't letting nobody look in my bag. So I said, "Fuck y'all," and ran off. And then Fyodor was like, "Let me help you," and we ran off.
Oh, well, okay. Well, like I said, I found that a very nice goblin woman who said she'll return the stuff.
Yeah, I ain't trusting nobody. We're gonna return the shit to the person that lost the shit. This seems a little bit too
TikTok
sketchy.
really doesn't like people looking at his sack.
Yeah, people need to
Oh.
stop looking at my shit. This is not cool.
Okay. Well, do we have a way to find this guy then?
At this point, actually, is there a way I could have a look at the now that I've been exposed to this symbol, this sigil again? Could I figure out what these dudes are with, like what house?
Let me get history. History check.
That is a that's an 18.
You are able to tell that their mark is to the house Thirani. They are an elf, predominantly elf house that is a long-standing rival of House Fiarlan.
While he's kind of like, trying to think of, little bits of history and whatnot, can I see the people that he was like, because I'm quite a bit taller than they are, so can I maybe see the people that he was supposedly running from? Maybe looking for him?
You're gonna need a perception check.
Okay. 20.
There we go.
You can easily see 6 like-dressed elves that are moving through the crowd looking, but instead of looking up, they're looking down, like to find somebody much smaller. So they don't see that you see them at this moment.
Ticto, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but like, is there maybe a possibility that this was a misunderstanding? I mean, I'm sure I could clear it up.
I would prefer that people talk straight to me. I am not fucking around with misunderstanding shits. Someone already got their neck slit over this stupid bag. I would like things to go well.
I can make sure that they go well.
He's very sensitive about his sack.
Alright, how about you talk to them, and we'll stand back, and we'll see how they respond to you.
Okay. And I, make a beeline directly for them.
Oh, fuck.
As you are walking, you feel a
I'm
hand.
gonna hide.
You feel a hand grab onto your throat, not onto your throat, but like the back of your collar, and you're pulled back. And as you two are trying to hide, you feel another hand, and you see somebody in there, and they're like, you hear a very quiet voice in your ears that says, "We'd best talk about this in someplace a little bit more quiet." As they pull you, all 3 of you, out of the station.
Like, fine.
And that is where we are going to stop for tonight.
God damn it. Very well.
Well, that was fun.
Alright.
Yeah.
Adding ending tonight on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, of course he does. That is the way of the world.
Indeed.
It
But
is
you know
the
what
way.
will never leave you hanging? The service at Tabletop Loot.
You didn't plug them today.
I know, which is why I'm plugging them now. Did you
I don't
guys
think-
know that Tabletop Loot will sell you
I
guys dice?
think we're off the stream now, aren't we?
No, we're not. I haven't ended it. Then all the people that are on have not gotten off yet. So, Brian, continue.
Man, you can't just plug block like that.
We're doing it.
Sorry.
That's how we're gonna
Joel,
do things
shame,
right now.
shame on you. But you know, I will never feel shame for liking Tabletop Loot. So, no, seriously though, if any
There's
of
some good
you
shit.
are in the market for some dice, I'm talking like good, affordable, quality dice that will never really let you down. Tabletop Loot is the shop you need to go to. And right now, you can go to Tabletop Loot and pick out any set of dice and get 15% off by using the code NOL15. That's NOL as in Nerds of Legend 15 to get 15% off any set of dice you choose. Plus, they've got their monthly dice subscription box at only $25 a month. They process on the 20th of every month, and then the first week of the next month, you get a whole crate full of dice delivered right to your door for no added shipping or any kind of hidden fees like that. It's minimum 4 sets of dice every month, and they are some fantastic dice that you will not find anywhere else. And that's my plug.
All right. My plug is Joseph. I know you're watching. Why haven't you subscribed or followed? You bitch.
We have no subscription set up yet.
Sorry, yeah. Follow. I know I've got the wrong term down. But my housemate is watching right now and he has not followed us. That is my problem.
I feel we can
House.
address this.
Shame.
All right.
Shame.
All right.
All right, so guys, follow us on. We've got our. When we go to the end of our stream, you've got our Instagrams, our Twitters, and all that stuff. Please give us a follow if you've got a chance, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you, Sue. Bye.
Thank you for all for joining us.
Feedback is appreciated, and
Thank you for joining in the shenanigans.
and we'll see you next week.